can't come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. I say you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey?
You've seen them. They're all around you. Millions of them. Your friends, they have it and don't even know it. Chances are, you have it too. What is this phenomenon, this craze, this obsession that has brainwashed our youth, our children, our parents, and even our grandparents.
Why can't people see it? It's so obvious. Apple is a cult. That's the secret of their success. They have a distinct subculture of rites, traditions, rituals, everything. Mac addicts eat, sleep, and breathe Mac.
Is Apple a cult? Definitely.
Just look at the religious connotations behind the name, Apple, the forbidden fruit. Like, what about the fact that the first Apple computer cost an evil $666.66? Then there's the iPods, with like their dancing, subversive music. And don't get me started on the iPod commercials, like promoting reckless abandon. What real human can dance that well, honestly? And there's so much more.
When we're looking at the question of cults, trying to understand what a cult is really important. A lot of people make a distinction between standard religious, or what we would call mainstream religions, and cults. Cults tend to have numerous characteristics that sort of make them unique.
You can definitely argue that Apple has religious connotations. What is religion? It's a belief structure that helps people make sense of the world. What does the cult of Mac do? It makes sense of the world of technology. Almost everyone knows the origin myth of Apple. Just two guys in a garage with humble beginnings and a miraculous birth. It just resonates with biblical implications.
The two Steves, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, met in 1971 and eventually became interested in assembling and selling their personal computer. After a lucky sale of their first machine, they were able to start their company Apple on April Fool's Day 1976. With the Apple II in 1979, they created a computer that people actually wanted to use, thus kicking off the personal computer revolution.
Sure, it's just a corporation, but Apple is so much more than that. I mean, they invented the personal computer. I'll give them that, with its plastic case and its colored screen. And sure, without the invention of the mouse, we'd probably be stuck with text commands and touchscreens. And all those iProducts may make the world a better place, but it's all a facade.
Cults are very skilled at recruitment. It's one of the things that they do best, frankly, which is how they maintain themselves. However, the person being recruited doesn't quite realize what's happening. They use a level of psychological coercion whereby a person doesn't realize necessarily what's going on.
Are you creative, smart, talented, an out-of-box thinker? Come join our community and let us help you become who you are.
Macs are friendly to people like me.
I like to touch things.
Don't like to follow instructions? March to the beat of your own drum? Come join us and be a part of a select few who are on the path to righteousness.
The great thing is, whenever I have a problem, anything, I can go to my local Apple store and a certified Apple genius will help me. They've helped me so many times. And if they're not available, well, I just wait.
Come, you need to belong to us.
Discourage rational thought? Hello? Think different? How obvious can you get?
One of the ways that cults manage to maintain their membership is by using guilt and fear. These are core emotions in all human beings, and cult leaders know this.
I used to use the other system. You know, Windows. Those days are gone. Now I have a Mac and all is good.
Apple is a moral choice. Apple is good, individualized, independent, creative, and driven to produce innovative technology.
Before, I'd be working on projects, typing away, and suddenly, beep, 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 blue screen of death! All those viruses, the spyware, everywhere. No, no! I'm safe now. I have a Mac.
Then there's Microsoft. Centralized, authoritarian, motivated solely by profit, pure evil.
It's just so slow and confusing. Icons all over. Took me hours to figure out that in order to turn my computer off, I had to press start first.
Cults consider the outside world evil. There's this constant sense of threat from the outside world upon them, this satanic force that's going to descend upon them that they must protect themselves from by the dynamics within this group. As a result of that, the people become very protective of the group itself. They have a sense of suffering for their own beliefs, and that almost a type of martyrdom complex develops, if you will. And there's a piece of the dynamic that leads them to get very angry or upset if anyone questions themselves as a member, anything about the group, and very specifically if anyone questions the leader. No one is to ever question the direction of the leadership. That is absolutely essential to the way a cult functions.
Rise up, my friends, rise up. We've been through a lot. Years of being persecuted for using the Mac in a Windows-dominated world. Oh, all the sacrifices that we've made, all the evangelizing. But it's all been worth it.
I like simple things. I don't like reading instructions. Ever since I got a Mac, I've been able to do things. It's like so easy. Even a teacher could do it.
I used a Mac once, and it sucked. So who's this Steve Jobs character anyway?
The leader of the cult is put on high. The person, him or herself, is actually generally self-appointed, but has such a dynamism, such a charisma that people are really attracted to this person.
Oh, Steve, the apple of my eye.
Apple's corporate mythology portrays him as a savior. Have you heard this guy's story? He might as well be the next Krishna, Odysseus, or even Christ. They all contain the same elements.
Apple is nothing without Jobs.
Have you seen his keynotes? When Steve announces something new, people listen. And through the power of podcasts, we're always connected to our great leader.
But Steve's getting on with his age. What happens when he goes? It's the Mac addict's worst nightmare. Apple without Jobs? Ha! Good luck. What? Steve is going away? Our Steve? No, it can't be. It can't.
Quiet, you fool! Steve will never die.
Who Who joins a cult? Generally, people are actually surprised. The largest number of people that you find are youth. They're people who are in times of transition in their lives, or people who are under enormous amounts of pressure. People who tend to be idealistic on some level, generally actually really quite intelligent, but have a naivete about life. Sometimes you're dealing with people who have a low self-esteem, a low sense of self, and so they're easily manipulated, which is also that part of transition.
Our children, our future, are in the hands of monsters. Unlike PCs, people don't just use Macs. They become fans. They develop a passion for the machines.
Just look at it. It's so sexy. My precious. Turn off the camera.
Mac users are very emotional. There's something called pre-macro anxiety and post-keynote letdown, of which symptoms can be quite serious. There's a scratch on the Nano, the Intel issue, the multi-button mouse, boot camp. Hell's frozen over a few times at the Apple Store.
So how long have you been working at the Apple Store?
Oh, for 6 months, ever since I got my first Mac.
And when were you certified as a genius?
Oh, I'm not a genius. I'm a volunteer. Come here twice a week to help out.
They've personified themselves. Yes, the company is cool, fresh, new, and sleek. And it's not that they've just created an image for themselves, but also an image for their customers.
What other company inspires their fans to get tattoos and personalized license plates, amass huge collections of ancient machines, build Mac aquariums, or proudly describes themselves as Mac fans, Mac freaks, or Mac nuts? Certainly not Dell, IBM, or Microsoft.
Mac users, or whatever you want to call them, Apple's faithful, Appaholics, Mackies, Macolites, Mac addicts, Mac zealots, or members of the cult of Mac.
They're crazy!
Cult members tend to be isolated. That's one of the main things that we know about them. They're isolated from mainstream society. And in fact, the only contact that they have is when they're seeking to proselytize, when they're seeking to make new converts. They've developed a whole vocabulary, a way of thinking, a way of speaking, and they slowly attract people into that.
Apple is sold with evangelism. They even have a position called the Human Interface Evangelist.
The first rule of iCult is promote the iCult. The second rule of iCult is, well, promote the iCult.
Like, oh my jobs. They're so cute, so slick, so quick, and so amazing. And BTW, have you tried the widgets, the dock, the automator, or the expose?
If you follow the positive values of Apple, you're on your way to salvation.
For those who do manage to get out, it is a very difficult process. That sense of isolation, of loneliness that they had prior to entering the cult comes again, but in a very different way. They tend to feel angry at themselves. There's a feeling of humiliation. There's a feeling of having disappointed their cult leader. And although they've developed some kind of thought process that's their own, there's still this attachment that's kind of emotional and unexplainable, and it takes a lot of time to get over.
It was horrible. I got my iPod stolen, and then I was cast out of the cult. And then I failed Steve. I was so alone, and it was so hard. And then there were the nightmares. Nightmares. Stop us!
Cults are dangerous. It's a reality. They are a detriment to society, but really particularly they're a danger to the people who end up joining them. Those individuals' lives are at risk because they have lost their sense of free will. They have lost their ability to think. And for many of them, they lose their capacity to function. And this is a real danger in terms of what happens to those people when they try to then reintegrate in society.
The question is, would Apple fans quaff poison Kool-Aid if Steve Jobs commanded it?
You can't trust them. It starts out all innocent, just fun and games, but then it gets you.